afternoon tea doesn't always have to consist of sweet treats. I'm going to show you a wonderful loaf using parmesan and zucchini. Now let's measure out some flour first. Now I'm using some bread flour for this. I think you get a really lighter texture. So we want 1.5 cups of flour. And I've got a 1/2 cup measurement here, so I'm going to measure accurately for this. Perfect. And now we need a rising agent for this, so I'm going to be using some baking powder, 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. And we need to start flavouring this. So the combination of ginger powder goes in, along with some cinnamon. I'm going to add just a small pinch at the moment because I'm going to add some more on the top, and some nutmeg. So there's some really interesting flavours going in this loaf. It's not only a zucchini loaf, it's a spice loaf too. Now let's mix this together. And always when you're baking bread, we need to add a little bit of salt here. So a pinch of salt once that you've mixed in that baking powder. So we're just forming a well here. And what I love about this loaf is there's no kneading required. You don't need any machinery. It's all straight in the bowl for today. And in a jug, we're going to mix our wet ingredients. So 1/2 cup of melted butter. And I like to just pop it in a jug because it's just easier to transport from here into the dry ingredients. A little bit of milk, about 1/4 cup of milk. And for a little sweetness, it is an afternoon tea bread, just a small amount of caster sugar. So caster sugar in there, 1 tablespoon. This is also going to bring out the sweetness of the zucchini. And 2 eggs, 2 whole eggs for this recipe, and they can go straight into the jug. 1. And the second one. And now just with a fork, we'll give that a really quick mix. Perfect. Now I'm going to start incorporating this wet liquid into the flour, and then I'll start adding my zucchini. Now that has just come together, we can add the zucchini, which I've just strained. You can see how much liquid comes away from the zucchini. I've finely grated that, and we can pop that in, and there'll still be a little bit of moisture in there. Also, a little bit of cheese. My choice today is some parmesan. You could also use some pecorino. Even cheddar works really nicely in this loaf. So I'm going to give this another mix and just really gently now fold it in to that batter. And I've just lined a loaf tin here with some baking paper, leaving a little excess, and that'll help us take the loaf out once it's cooked. So I'll finish folding this, and it's going to cook for about 50 minutes at 180 degrees. Now, when it comes out of the oven, allow it to cool completely in the tin and then take it out. And look at that. Doesn't it look fantastic? It's perfect. And now let's just slice a piece because I want to have a taste of this. I'm going to take the end off. And this crunchy end bit is sometimes my favourite bit. But today I'm feeling like one big chunk close to the centre there. You can see how moist this gorgeous loaf is because of that zucchini. So I like to place it on a plate, and I love to serve it with either a little bit of butter or cottage cheese is a fantastic option. This loaf isn't just fantastic for afternoon tea, but it's great for lunch boxes. If you're going to do it for the kiddies though, make sure you take the nuts out because no nuts are allowed at school. I'm going to have a little taste of this. That's one very delicious loaf.